So I never got any fucking house shows. And, except, like, I think I might have worked, like, 1 or 2 house shows a month. And I guess now they'd fuck you back then. Like, my high school 10-year reunion was during that time. I was like, man, please, and I asked like 6 weeks of this, please can I have this off? I mean, they weren't booking me anyway. So what they did, that was the only day that month they even booked me. I mean, just motherfuckers. You know, my high school 10-year reunion, that fucking crushed me. You know, so fuck everybody. I wanted to go, like, I finally made it. I wanted to come back, go, look, I fucking made it. You know? And, so they fucked me on that. And they never booked me in house shows, so the money sucked. And, but I was having a great time living in Atlanta. That's when Atlanta was like the stripper capital of the world. I mean, it was, like, the ugliest guys had girlfriends that were 10s because there were so many 10s. I mean, fuck anybody who lived there, and it's not like that in Atlanta now, but it was the greatest confluence of hot women ever. Like, there's never been that many, like, the girls working the day shift in the titty bars, hold on, day shift, then are better than the chicks working the night shift now. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So it was like, I was having the greatest time, except that my career's not where I want it to be. But then things are starting to see the light. So Dusty's pushing me, but I'm not making the money, but I'm still happy because I know I'm going to get it, right? And then finally me and Perlman had that fucking bash at the beach at Mobile, Alabama. And they put me over Perlman for the Cruiserweight title, and I thought, fuck, now I finally made it. You know what I mean? And it was one of the, so now I'm thinking, okay, now it's all coming together, because the Watts thing hadn't happened yet. But I mean, and even though they weren't booking me, but I think, like, Paige was like, don't worry, they're going to book it. I mean, you remember what Dusty said, you can be Ric Flair, blah, blah, blah. And so Dusty, so they wanted me to be Perlman clean, which just made no sense to me, because I'm a heel. Why would you go over clean? But just, oh, whatever. But it didn't matter. We went like 17 minutes, and we had a hell of a fucking match. I mean, it still holds up. Like, the last time I watched it was a few years ago, but it still holds up really well. And I've never seen this happen before or since. But I can't, and we were first match. I came back in the locker room, and it was actually a line of people standing there to say great match. Like, I've never seen that. Like, or, you know, for anybody, for myself or anybody else ever since, before or since. But there had to be 10 guys lined up. It was like, man, good match. Because I guess nobody really knew what I could do. And to hang with Perlman and have that good match we had, you know. Even Sting was fucking in line. Great match, kid, great match. There's a whole long line. There's Ole Anderson at the end waiting for me, you know. And, I always liked Ole. Most people think Ole's a piece of shit, but I liked Ole because he would tell you what he thought. Like, if he thought you sucked, he'd go, I think you suck. Which I would much rather somebody tell me they sucked to my face than say, oh, you're the best, and then tell me I sucked behind my back. And he's like, and so, like, he couldn't just put it 100% over. He goes, that was a really good match. He goes, but there's too much eye raking, which he was right, there was. But even Ole put it over, and I was like, man, and Paige comes up to me, he goes, man, he goes, if this doesn't get you a spot on the full-time roster, nothing will. And nothing did, because the next week, Bill Watts came in, had Brad Armstrong beat me, and fucking I was a jobber for like 3-4 months, and then he wouldn't renew my contract, and it was over.
Did he ever give you any reasons besides the stooge and things?
No, he never even gave me that. That's what I found out later.
Yeah.
But it was amazing, like Paige's prophetic words. If that didn't get you a spot, nothing will. And fuck, a week later, I dropped the belt. Then then after that, just fucking job, and then just fucking miserable, you know.
Do you think it was Bill Watts that a lot of people say that he was racist, he didn't like Jewish people, and
maybe, probably, I don't know, you know, fuck him. You know, fuck that big fucking bucket-headed motherfucker. He would fucking tell us stories, me and Austin Cohen would be listening, right? Yeah. And he would tell some boring-ass fucking story, and just, you know, you had to listen to him, you know, and every story would be like, them dumb motherfuckers were in there, them dumb cocksuckers were in there fumble fucking around, I come in and stole it, right? That's what he would do every time. And at the same line time, them dumb cocksuckers were out there fumble fucking around. I come in and stole it. And that ended up becoming like a big, like, locker room catchphrase for me. Austin Cohen, the fucking, like, mocking him. Anyway, he'd be telling a story, and Dusty would walk over. And because Dusty was still the booker, you know, he wasn't in charge anymore. And Dusty would tell like a minute story. And Dusty's a funny fucker. And just hilarious. We'd all start busting out laughing, and Dusty, you know, he'd get his shit in, he'd walk off, and the Watts would be left there fucking with his dick in his hand trying to tell a story. We're just like, it's fucking great. Anyway, so that fat fuck let me go. And so then I'm like, fuck, gotta go back to Memphis. This is a Hotel California. You can check out, but you can't ever leave. I could not believe that I was going back to Memphis. And I thought my career was like half over, because I'm like, I'm never getting to New York. I'm not big enough, you know? I mean, things were bleak. I mean, I wasn't going to quit, but I was like, fuck, you know? So I go back to Memphis, and, You know, and Jerry Jarrett, by now, I recognize him talent. I mean, so Jerry Jarrett, you know, Jerry Jarrett wasn't even booking the first time I was there, so. But Jerry Jarrett's always been a supporter of mine, so it's kind of cool that I'm back working for him again, you know. Like I said, certain guys got me, certain guys didn't. Dusty always got me, you know. Potts was a piece of shit. So I went back there. There's really not much to tell about that, except that while I was there, WWF was interested in me, but they wanted to make me a manager. And I kind of thought that they made me a manager like Piper and then I'd wrestle. You know, and I never thought I'd just be a manager. So, so they brought me in fucking and so they started coming up, and they came with the Johnny Polo gimmick, threw that on me, which honestly, Johnny Polo should have been Shane McMahon. I mean, he's the Greenwich kid, you know. I got my Philadelphia accent, you know, I'm nothing resembling this character, but I figured I'll make the most of it. Once again, I always think to myself, I gotta get myself over, you know what I mean? How am I gonna get myself over? So they said polo character, you bring a polo, mallet, you know, whatever. So I started thinking I'm a man of leisure, all kinds of leisure. So I started bringing all the ridiculous stuff that people really came to like Johnny Polo, because I come out, one time I had the swim fins with the snorkel and just stupid ass shit, you know?
Did you like doing that Johnny Polo character? Or?
You know, it's, yes and no. I hated that I was a manager. They didn't think highly enough of me as a wrestler to let me wrestle, or, you know. I hated it, and Vince never got me. Vince always got me behind the scenes and never got me in front of the camera. I don't know. But a lot of the stuff I did, I really enjoyed. I mean, it was some funny fucking shit. Unfortunately, then I had to try and live it down, because I knew when I became Raven, it was a darker character, and I knew I had my hands full trying to live down this ridiculous character that, you know, they saddled me with.
Yeah.
So for a long time I didn't like it. A long time I hated it, because it was like, I'm trying to live it down, but now, I mean, once I'm past that, now I can look back with fondness, because, I mean, there was some funny shit we did, you know?
Yeah, how do you like working with the Quebecers, and how'd that all work out for you?
Jacques was smart enough to know he didn't want the manager having all the heat, so he made sure that the heat wasn't on me, or he tried as much as he could to keep the heat on him. But I didn't have a problem with that. Adam Baum, though, was ridiculous. Like, me and Brian get along really well, but Brian thought that I was supposed to be a shoot manager. Like, he thought I was supposed to, like, make his car reservations and shit. I'm like, bro, that's a gimmick. He's a real manager. He's like, well, the Road Warriors qualifying this. I go, but he's getting paid for it. I go, they're paying him to do that. It's completely different. I'm not fucking making your reservations. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah. How do you like hosting the show with Gorilla Monsoon?
Forgot about that. I really enjoyed that. Gorilla was a really sweet man. Jerry Jarrett was our producer. Once again, he got me. He'd write us these funny little fucking skits we do, you know? Really cool. I had a good time with that.
Okay. And then I read a bunch of interviews with you where you said that they were developing you to take over creative stuff and all that. What's the whole story behind that? Like you were going to be the producer of Raw, or
I was associate producer of Raw. I was. What happened was, they had me co-host an episode of Raw with Vince, like they would rotate people around, and I actually came with notes, because I was hoping to be prepared, you know what I mean? Like, you know, guys never brought notes back then, because, old-timers, we don't do that, you know what I mean? Fucking stupid, because they weren't that fucking talented, a lot of them, you know, and that's part of the reason why. But I always brought notes. I had some funny little bits I wanted to get in, so I was like, hey, Vince, if this line pops up, can you feed me this so I can get this? And he's like, hey, wow, you got notes? Like, impressed the fuck out of him. It's like, hey, you're a fucking bright kid. You can use you behind the scenes. I'm going to make you a producer, too. Make you associate producer of Raw. So, okay. So now I was getting a salary and health benefits and, you know, everything that comes with an office job. And not that I mean, I was like, I wasn't going to do, but I didn't really want it, because I still wanted to be in the ring. I still wanted to wrestle, but I was like, well, at least I'm still on camera being Johnny Polo. As long as I'm still doing that, I'm cool. And then finally, he's like, you know what, it's a complete disconnect. Which I was like, no shit, it's taking this long to figure it out. He's like, you know, I look at you, you know, you're not Johnny Polo, you're not a rich kid from Greenwich, you know. You got jeans and ripped up, you know, I mean, because the Raven character was the look was what I wore anyway. I mean, like the leather and the Doc Martens and all that, that was me.